Hello. Uh, so today's video is going to be a little bit short and sweet. I specifically want to talk about one thing and then get on with other stuff that I have to do today. I feel very called to be as genuine as I can today. I am non-binary, which I talked about before, but I feel like I need to talk about it a little bit more in depth, and why it correlates to spirituality, and why it's relevant like in today's world, you know, the Trumpocalypse world, where we the more that these gender identities like come into existence, the more resistance there is from, you know, the powers that be and certain people in social lives. You know what I mean? And that could be detrimental to our well-being, our confidence, and our perception of each other, and our perceptions of ourselves. And in a lot of ways, that's toxic. It's a big no-no, and it's not our fault. It's the projection's fault. You know what I'm saying? Like the people who project their own, you can't be like this, you have to be like this. People who are doing that. It's honestly, that is the toxicity that gets into ourselves and gives us these feelings of like, I'm not good enough, kind of BS. And it is BS because you are good enough. You know about feminine energy, you know about masculine energy, but if you're not non-binary and into spirituality, you probably don't know about all the other energies. It's not just feminine, it's not just masculine, it's everything and nothing all at the same time. It's so fluid that it's ingrained in the fabric of the universe. These energies that we call masculine, that we call feminine, and that we like as an ego attached to body parts, right? It's not what you think it is. It's not what we're told it is. It's not what we study it being. It's bigger than that. And really it's smaller than that too, because it's partly conceptual and then it's partly very, very real. I mean, obviously it's real. Like I wouldn't have an identity at all if there wasn't an identity to have, right? If there wasn't holy, you guys, I don't know if you heard that. Am I being a little bit too loud? Probably. I'm trying to wrap my head around all this, but it's so hard to do. The thing is, it's hard to do because we don't have the conversation. We only talk about gender in social politics or in economic politics or in politics in general, but we don't talk about it in spirituality. When we do, it's just masculine energy, feminine energy, you know, emperor, empress. It's not that simple, man, and it's not the energies. I know we talk about how they're not granted to a specific gender, right? But it's not that simple. It's not like okay, for example, like I experience lots of masculinity sometimes, like today, I you know, but it's not very often. And then I experience lots of femininity. That word, man, lots of femininity, feminine stuff, in the same likeness, but most of the time I don't experience anything. But when I'm not experiencing anything, I'm also experiencing everything. And what I realize now is that my gender identity has kind of fluctuated along with other parts of my growth, and especially my spiritual growth. The more that I became accepting and ingrained with my spiritual self, with my higher self, the more fluid and open I've been with my gender identity. The thing that I want to get across to you who is watching is, well, there's a couple things. One, if you experience gender differently than you're told to experience it by nature, like if that is just where you're at, have pride in yourself. I know that it could be really hard to do that, especially when you have people telling you that you're wrong, but you're not wrong. That's you know that you're not wrong, okay? Like be proud of who you are and of the awareness of that experience, because what it's really saying isn't just that like you're weird and different and quirky. That's not, maybe you are, but that's cool, that's a good thing, you know what I mean? But that's not what that's about. You're just aware of parts of yourself that a lot of people aren't allowing themselves to be aware of, and that's on them, it's not on you. So rock your shit, for real. And also, if you don't experience that and you're just like curious or whatever why I'm talking about this, it's because when we hinder our identities in stuff like energy, we're hindering the growth and well-being of our peers, of the energies within our vibrational spaces, which really is all space. So everywhere you go, everything you do is afflicted by the energies that you hold. And if the energies that you hold are ones of negation, this is going to have a detrimental effect on people, especially because of this whole Great Awakening thing, or whatever it is that's been going on for a while now. I'm not just talking about this year, where people have been more open and more like honest about who they are and what their experience is. You're hindering their growth and their well-being. And there's a suicide epidemic for people who experience gender differently than we're told that we're supposed to experience it. All of that is obviously like problematic. I don't think I had to explain to you why that's problematic. I mean, I hope that I don't. Maybe I do. Like, I'm just going to assume that I don't. If you're that hard-headed, then, at the end of the day, who you are is who you are, and you should be damn proud of who you are. And who other people are who other people are, and you should be damn proud that they are who they are, that they're experiencing themselves. And hopefully that doesn't mean that they're toxic. And if they're toxic, you know what, man, they have to learn their own stuff in their own way. So step aside, go do your own thing, unless you feel called to fighting that and making a change, then do that. That's integral to the growth of humanity, which is integral to the growth of the universe and the cosmic consciousness, the one consciousness, singularity, whatever you want to call it, source consciousness. It doesn't matter. It's all the same thing, right? Really, what you need to know is that you are valid, that the experience is valid, that gender is complicated, and spirituality is complicated, and the link between the two is also complicated, but it's there. It's very real, and it's very predominant in the experience of somebody like me who is agender and non-binary. So I'm fluid a little bit. It's so complicated, but and someone who's like very, very spiritual and who's been on the spiritual path really since childhood, man. I'm very, very psychic. When I was a child, I started having my psychic experiences, and they only really got more intense as I got older. It's part of why I dealt with like addiction issues and stuff, but that part of my life is phasing out, and when it's completely phased out and I really have a good grasp on it, I'll do what I said I was going to do in my last face-to-face video, which is help people not suffer from addiction best as I can. I'm only a piece of a great big puzzle, and those who need me will find me and utilize me. But listen, you are so damn loved, and you are so perfect. And the things that you might think about yourself that you think aren't perfect are. You don't have flaws. You know what I'm saying? You really don't have flaws. You have steps in growth. You have hiccups along the way to your destinations, whatever that may be, your desires, your goals, your aspirations. You run into bumps. Sometimes you walk into walls. But you're perfect the way you are, and the way you're gonna be is gonna be perfect too. And you don't need to justify that to yourself. You don't need to justify that to your lovers or to your friends or to your parents, or family or people in general. Who you are kicks ass, and who you are is everything. And I absolutely, even as a complete stranger, love you to death for who you are. Not what you present, but who you are. My soul knows your soul. This is a gift of mine, is that I read people's souls. And sometimes that makes it so that my interpersonal relationships could be a little bit rocky, because what I experience is their soul before I experience anything else. Yes, me. But ultimately, that also means that I know that your soul is beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it's perfect, and it knows what it's doing. So trust that intuition. Trust that intuition. Be happy as best you can. It's not like there's a switch that you flip and then you're happy. But the more that you accept yourself, the better off you're gonna be, because you're gonna feel better and you're gonna manifest better things in your life because you feel better. If you're not there yet, don't trip. You'll get there. You're obviously, if you're watching this, then you're either there, getting there, or going to be there. It's like set in stone, man. Set in stone. So I love you. Have a good day. I will have more tarot videos coming up soon. I haven't really been feeling well. I've had some like emotional, rocky stuff going on. My dreams have been like big, cray cray, very vivid, a little bit sad, and it's affected me in the rest of my life. So, suffering a little bit from that, but I'm getting out of it real quick. Mars retrograde is like cray cray. On day of filming, I'm gonna try and get this out today, but if I don't, on day of filming now, I got bit by my cats. It's the new moon, and holy crap, is it like super, super powerful. So anyways, I love you. Take care. Have a great day. Go keep kicking ass.